Not all experiments are fun. I was planning to get myself invisible.
What is that? What are you up to again?
Shh, that's my wife. She's invincible. Even Thomas Edison failed a lot of times before he succeeded. The interesting thing about success is, when you succeed, you're called an achiever. But when you help people succeed, you're a leader. Here's a list of few people from the ASEAN community who have been awarded the most coveted title from the Trailblazer community, the Salesforce MVP, for their relentless contribution to this ecosystem. Proud of you guys and really happy to see some women power in that list. Congratulations, guys. Welcome to yet another episode of Dev Talkies. I'm your host Nagakiran Manyala from APAC Developer Relations. We have some inspiring interviews, latest updates, and a cool game show waiting for you all. So without further delay, let's go to Satya for what's in the news.
Hi everyone and welcome to today's What's in the News. This month is special. On March 8, 1999, Salesforce was incorporated. Mark, Parker, Frank and Dave began working on the very first version of the Salesforce CRM. This month, it is Salesforce's 22nd birthday. Happy birthday, Salesforce. If you want to see some news highlights from 22 years of Salesforce journey, check out this blog on salesforce.com. Did you ever got questions in your mind like, what development model shall I use? How do I set up my development tools? How can I get started with the modern developer tooling for my Salesforce applications? Most importantly, from where can I learn all of these concepts? Then you should definitely check out this new site which provides all the necessary resources for you to get started. Salesforce Developer Tooling Learning Map is a site that provides you a guided tour to get you started with Salesforce development using modern development tools. It provides links to all the necessary resources. It has links to the trailhead modules, documentation, blogs, etc. You can plan a development path for your team by understanding different development processes and tools. You can then decide what best fits your project and team. Here are the resources which will be helpful to choose the right development tool. You can learn how to set up the tools. You can understand how to configure the environment. You can then deep dive and learn more about tooling. Here, you can check the developer tools for coding in Apex, Lightning Web Components, Visualforce, Sockle, and Aura. You also find resources to get started with testing and debugging. You can learn how to deploy the code and work with the version control system. You can also learn to implement continuous integration and continuous deployment. You can also find a link to the sample gallery which has the reference code. Salesforce Labs creates free customizable apps for you. Can you guess how many apps it has released in the month of February? You can check out this video for the answer. Salesforce Labs has brought you a total of 12 new solutions in February alone. In this video, Salesforce Labs Rewind, you can check all of those apps. If you expand this description below, you can find all the apps listed along with the links to the App Exchange page. My favorite app is Image Uploader, which is implemented in LWC. What is your favorite app? Check out and let us know on the Salesforce Developers India Telegram channel. Do you know that you can now back up your Heroku Postgres 40 times faster? Check out this news item. Heroku has announced backups of Heroku Postgres are now 40x faster by leveraging a new way called snapshots in place of base backups. Forks and followers creation that used to take sometimes up to 24 hours now can take under 30 minutes. The gap in HA availability during failures that used to take anywhere up to 12 hours now takes under 15 minutes. This makes the creation of forks and followers and restoring the database faster than ever at no additional charge. If you are a Salesforce developer and wondering how to use the Heroku platform with Salesforce, or you are a Heroku developer and you want to understand how you can use the low-code and pro code tools to build the powerful apps, then you should check out this playlist from the Salesforce Developers YouTube channel. Modern App Development on Salesforce series is a collection of 13 videos. It caters to both Salesforce developers and Heroku developers to skill up. It covers developer tooling, including Salesforce CLI and Heroku CLI. It covers various other topics like data model design, front-end application design, automate business processes, scale Salesforce apps with Node.js microservices on Heroku, unit testing, and packaging and deployments. This series is for everyone, whether you are an experienced Salesforce developer, Heroku developer, a new Salesforce developer, or a developer coming from other technologies. Let's now see what we have for architects in the month of March. Here is a blog post in medium.com which gives a sneak peek of the content for architects in March 2021. First, let's check what's on the blog. A blog post by lead developer advocate Alba Rivas covers what architects need to know about Aura versus Lightning Web Components. You can see a new integration resource on architect.salesforce.com. You can learn how to build architectural diagrams with Mark Braga, Principal Architect Evangelist, on Trailhead Live. If you missed watching this session yesterday, it will be available on demand soon. You can also check this session on Sender Authentication Packages in Marketing Cloud by Tom Leddy, Director, Customer Success Architect. This was broadcast on March 5th and is now available on demand. Let's now look into some event news. London's Calling Salesforce, Europe's largest community event for Salesforce professionals, has happened on 19th March. Let's see one more event news. If you missed last month's news, let me remind you that Salesforce Live Australia and New Zealand event has started on 24th March. It has 9 episodes of 4 hours each, spanning 6 weeks. Each episode covers sales, financial services, etc. Now it's time for community focus. There are many sites on the internet from where you can learn the Salesforce, but there are very few sites from where you can get guidance on how to do the certification. One such unique initiative is by Vijay Vargiya and Isha Garg, that is Blaze Your Certification. Blaze Your Certification is an initiative started during the pandemic time in April 20. It helps trailblazers to succeed by guiding them to get a certified professional badge on their resumes. It is currently focusing on Salesforce Certified Administrator exam. You can find a simple agenda on the website with a split of topics. Here are certified professionals who are supported by the Blaze Your Certification team. Congratulations to all the certified professionals. Now, let's hear from the founders of Blaze Your Certification on what was their motivation for this initiative.
Hello everybody, my name is Isha Garg. You may know me as Trailblazer Isha. I'm one of the co-hosts for Blazer Certification Program, which started back in April 2020 during the pandemic, and we take up 5 sessions to take everybody on the roadmap to Salesforce Administrator exam. I'm proud to say that we have 105 plus certified pros, and our goal is to reach at least 500 certified pros. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, my name is Arpit Vijayvargya and I'm a Salesforce platform champion and also leading Salesforce admin group Azmer. My motive to start Blaze Your Certification was to help others to crack their Salesforce admin exam with the proper guide, like how they can utilize the resources available on the Trailhead and also the web assessor, how easily they can learn from there, and they can boost their confidence, and they can clear the Salesforce admin exam easily. Like it also helps the person who is giving the exam for first time to build their confidence.
Kudos to Isha and Arpit. Thanks for whatever you're doing for the community to achieve success. Now, it's time to wrap the news with a quick round of news items. MuleSoft Composer for Salesforce is now generally available. It enables Salesforce admins to connect apps and data to Salesforce and automate integrations quickly and easily with clicks, not code, all instead of the Salesforce UI. Data recovery service is back. Last year, we announced plans to end our data recovery service, and that decision is now reversed based on your feedback, and you'll be able to utilize those services now. To know more about it, you can refer to this blog. If you have missed this webinar, deep dive Shadow DOM and CSS in Lightning Web Components on YouTube Live, you can go back to check how Shadow DOM is implemented in LWC and LWC OSS. You can also understand how cascading and inheritance of styles work. It also covers CSS scoping, CSS custom properties, styling hooks, and design tokens. Do you know how an LWC compilation works? Do you know what is a polyfill and how does it work? Do you want to check which of the ECMAScript versions 9, 10, 11 and 12 features are supported by LWC? Then you should definitely check this blog leveraging the newest ESXX features in LWC. That's all in today's news. See you next month in next episode. Until then, keep trailblazing.
Thank you, Satya, for the latest updates, and happy birthday, Salesforce. My first guest in the show today is somebody who had a very humble beginning. His parents really worked hard to make both the ends meet, and his brother is a huge inspiration to him. This guy didn't stop as a small town boy. He went on to achieve success through his hard work and determination. He has his website called sfdcfacts.com where he empowers everybody on Salesforce learning, and he is also a Salesforce YouTuber, a very popular Salesforce YouTuber. Now, this guy, when somebody reaches out to him for help, never says no, and he's always there for them. He was my colleague at Salesforce until a couple of months back. Now he's a Salesforce developer in Google. Let's welcome Manish Chowdhury to Dev Talkies. Hey Manish, how are you?
I'm good, Kiran, and it's so nice to see you after a long time.
Okay, what's the first question I want to ask you? Okay, why did you leave Salesforce, Manish? Why?
That's a tricky question, Kiran. That's because...
I know, and the questions are going to get tougher.
Maybe that's because I was missing out on all the swags that Trailblazer community was getting. So now maybe like I get a chance to get those swags. But to be honest, like...
Smart.
To be honest, Kiran, I never left Salesforce. A part of me always stays with Salesforce. I still miss it a lot. The only difference is now...
We know that, yeah.
I'm glad that I'm still working on the Salesforce technology. That's got to count for something, right? So the only difference is now I'm integrating things to Salesforce rather than only working to Salesforce. That's much better, I believe. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We are really glad that you're still part of the ecosystem and you're still building on the Salesforce platform, which is what matters to us. So Manish, which brings me to my next question. What was your first job interview like, and what were the kind of celebrations you did when you got selected? I know they were really interesting.
Okay, so my first job interview, it happened when I was in my college in the third year, when companies started visiting our college for campus recruitment, and there were like 2,000 plus students, who gave their interviews, and I was the lucky one along with one of my friend who got selected in that company. Now what I did is I went to my home after getting my offer letter, and I went to a roadside.
You were very happy?
Oh, I was really happy. I'll tell you how happy I was. So I went to my home and I bought this waistcoat, and the next day I came to college feeling like a Maharaja. That okay, I got this achievement and nobody else did. And this other guy who got selected along with me, he was completely normal. Now I went to in front.
He was simple.
Like nothing happened. So I went in front of my friends, and they were like, you can imagine what happened, right? They were laughing on me like.
I know. I know what is to be with friends in these kind of situations. I've been there.
Yeah.
And I felt that.
So yeah, that's how I celebrated my very
Really
first
nice.
job.
It happens. When friends are there, these kind of things happen. Okay, see, I'll ask you my next question. Is it true that you blackmailed your manager to get your first shot at a Salesforce project?
Oh, I hope my manager doesn't see this.
Tell us, talk to us more about it.
I kind of did it. I won't say I blackmailed it, but I played a bet. So what I did is like, I always wanted to be a developer, and I was kind of preparing for a developer job since my college days. But when I joined my very first organization, I was put into a support project where I, didn't have much opportunity to develop things. Although I built some automation tools there to, automate my project, but there wasn't enough, and I was always eager for more. But because I was working on that support project, and I was losing my touch with these development technologies, so I wasn't able to clear any interview outside. So what I did is like, I went to my manager, and that happened after 1.5 years of being in that organization. So I went to my manager and I told them, okay, I got this opportunity outside, and I'm going to resign from this company, and I'm going to join. I'm going to go for that particular opportunity. He didn't take it serious. He thought, okay, I'm not going anywhere, and he of course.
And what you do is you put in an official email to him and the team that you're leaving because you got another job, and that is when they start moving things and they get you into a Salesforce project.
Oh yes, of course. So, that's true. So when he didn't took it serious, I put up an official email, and they did took it serious after that, and they gave me a Salesforce project. So yeah, that's how I landed. Hey, you shouldn't do it.
Smart, Manish.
I won't say that everybody should do it. It's take your own risk. Don't blame
Guys,
me.
please don't try this at home. Please don't try this at home. This is the disclaimer.
Yes.
Okay, Manish. On a serious note, how many interviews did you really fail before getting, a job at Salesforce? And what was your learning from that?
Sure. If I remember it correctly, I think I failed in 8 or 9 interviews back to back without any success. And these were the days when I really wanted to switch from my very first organization to somewhere where the Salesforce practice is going, and I get a lot of Salesforce work. But the thing is, I didn't have enough knowledge at that time, so I kept going through these interviews. So my learning from this experience is, like, when you sit in an interview, you are talking to a person who is much experienced than you, maybe like 3-4 more years experience than you. So within that half hour of time, or within that 1 hour, they are going to transfer all their knowledge to you within that 1 hour. So you are going to learn that 5 or 6 you are going to learn a lot of things from that 5 or 6 years of experience guy in that 1 hour. So I failed in a lot of interviews, but I used to sit in that particular campus where I was giving my interview. I started noting down all the questions they were asking me. And then when I used to come home, I used to search those questions. I used to implement all those scenarios which they were asking, and while doing it, I used to learn 10 more topics related to that particular question. So that's how I increased my Salesforce knowledge. And like after 8 or 9 interviews, there wasn't anything that I couldn't do in Salesforce. Even a guy who is having 10 plus years of experience haven't explored as much as I did in those 8 or 9 interviews. So yeah, after that, I think I got 9 or 10 job offer letters back to back. The last one was Salesforce, which I joined.
Awesome. That's a great advice to people who are facing rejections in their interviews, and that is really helpful, Manish. Thank you so much for that. Manish, now tell me, how did you get into the community? And what was your inspiration, for getting into the Trailblazer community and helping out others?
I think it all ties back to my childhood, the way my parents raised me and the way my brother supported me throughout my journey. So he always put me first, and like before his needs. So like he was always there for me, and that's what I think got transferred to me as well, but I'm not sure though. So this all happened by accident, actually, I would say. So like one day I woke up in the morning, and I was kind of good in Lightning, and there were a lot of requests on LinkedIn that I was getting for Lightning, like, can you teach us the Lightning? And that's because I had many followers on LinkedIn because of my Salesforce certification. So it all started from there.
Correct.
So one day I woke up in the morning and I put a LinkedIn post that I'm going to teach Lightning for free. And that's when I expected that 5 or 10 people will show their interest, and I can manage it. I'll just teach them whatever I know.
And how many people reached out to you?
Within you won't believe it, Kiran, within couple of hours I got 1,000+ interests, and my LinkedIn post was kind of trending. My inbox was completely filled with these requests, and that's what put me under pressure. Now I got to do it, because there are 1,000+ people expecting things from me. So that's when I instead of taking it casually, I prepared these lessons which I was supposed to teach in a very professional manner, in a very step-by-step manner, the way a professional course teach you. And I found a platform called YouTube Live, where you can reach out to a wider audience, and everybody can watch you live. So yeah, that's when I started my YouTube channel as well. So it all happened by accident. And yeah, that particular series, my very first teaching series, that was definitely a great success. There were like 1,000+ people
it's
joining.
A huge success. I know that it was a huge success. Even I checked out that video. Your videos are very insightful, very knowledgeable, and people have really benefited because of what you have done. Manish, thank you so much for whatever you're doing to the Trailblazer community.
Thanks a lot, Kiran.
You're a survivor, then an achiever, and then a leader, right? You have transformed into a leader, and
I didn't know it, but yeah, it's good to know now. Now
yeah, you are.
Now much more confident.
Yeah. Now, tell me this. Going forward, how do you want to help out people in the Trailblazer community?
Yeah, I definitely have some plans. So the thing is, Kiran, what I have seen in last couple of years, there are a lot more students or working professionals who lack confidence in joining big tech firms like Salesforce, like Google, like Amazon, or any other company. So they don't have much confidence that they can clear the interviews for these. So if a student belongs to a tier 3 or tier 3 college, he always, he almost has this mindset that he can never join these organizations. And that's the same thing. Correct. For a working professional who is working in a service-based company and who don't belong to a tier 3 or tier 4 college. So that's what I want to change, because I myself belong to a tier 3, tier 4 college. I never been I started my career with a service-based company, a very normal company. But I'm here, right? So they can be here as well. So that's what I want to change. I want to record some videos where I'll share my journey and how they can prepare themselves to land a good job, which they always, dream for, irrespective of if they are a student or if they are a working professional. I just want to help them out, along with my technical videos.
Wonderful. Sure. So motivational videos for them.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for doing that, Manish. It means a lot to the community, and people look up to you for a lot of inspiration. Okay, now that you're planning to do that, we have a cool gift for you.
Really?
You have to look good in these motivational videos, so we're going to give you a Lenovo Full HD webcam for you to do these motivational videos going forward.
Thanks a lot. That's definitely that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, we thought it would be useful for you as well, and thanks for all you do to the community. And it was a pleasure having you on the show today.
And there you go. That's why I left Salesforce, so that I can get these swags.
This shouldn't be part of the interview today.
Oh, really?
No. So yeah, thank you so much for whatever you're doing to the community. You're such an inspiration, and continue to do what you're doing the best.
Thanks a lot, Kiran.
It's time for a technical tip.
Today we are going to be talking about Content Security Policy or CSP in LWC OSS apps. So here I've built an app that lets me search for books, and it has a banner on the top and a search box, and when I click on search it shows me the results, which includes the thumbnail and the title. Now if you look at the code behind it, you can see that I'm using an image from unsplash.com for the banner on top, and I'm using Google APIs to get the list of books. The Google API result looks something like this, and if you scroll a little bit to the bottom, you can see that the thumbnail URL belongs to the google.com domain. Now, I've been using the watch command for local development, which doesn't enforce CSP, so everything works fine like you've just seen. But when I want to deploy this to production, I need to do two things. First, I need to run the build command that creates a webpack build, and then I run the serve command. And the serve command initializes a simple Express server. And the code for the Express server is present in server.js file in the scripts folder. Now this serves the build output with CSP enforced. So let's say you're deploying this app to Heroku, you might want to put this command npm run serve in the prog file. So now with CSP enforced, let's look at our app, and you can see that it doesn't work as expected. And in the developer tools, you'll find a bunch of errors related to CSP. Now, how does the Express server enforce CSP? It happens using Helmet. So Helmet is a library that lets you enforce security in your Express apps by allowing you to set some HTTP headers. And CSP happens to be one of the headers. So in its simplest form, you would just initialize the library like I've shown you here. And what this does, it sets a bunch of default values that you can find in the documentation. So in the documentation, you can see you can only load images, scripts, styles, or even make callouts to endpoints from the same domain, which is denoted using self. But in our use case, as you know, we have images from Unsplash, Google, and you're making call out to googleapis.com. So how do you whitelist these URLs? It's actually pretty simple. Instead of using the default Helmet config, you're going to replace it with this code, which sends in some options for the content security policy. And what we are doing here is we are whitelisting googleapis.com for Connect SRC, which is the one that is used to make callouts. And for image SRC, I have whitelisted unsplash.com and google.com domains. And of course, self is going to be present on all of the directives because it has to, of course, load things from the same domain. Now with these changes, let me run the serve command again. And now you can see that the output works just fine. Hope you found this tip helpful. Please let us know your feedback using the chat window or the comments section in case you're watching the recording. Also, if you have any topic in mind around which you want us to give you some tips on, please let us know in the chat window or the comments section.
There is something about folks who grow in small towns. They're closer to nature, involved in communities, and also they enjoy their sky at night. These are simple yet powerful things, and that is what makes their outlook towards life very different. Our next guest in the show today was a small town girl from Oregon. She did a master's in poetry and English literature. She writes books, she can draw, she can sing, she can play the piano, and it doesn't stop there. She can deliver a killer developer keynote, and she also heads the architect relations at Salesforce. Let's welcome Zane Turner at Dev Talkies. Hi Zane, how are you?
Hi, Karen. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Did you like your introduction, by the way? It was really tough for me.
It was incredibly excruciating to hear anyone talk about me that way, but I appreciated it deeply. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know what excruciating means. I hope it's good. But
It's good. It's like you got a lot in there, and it's odd to hear all of that jam-packed side by side. But it's great.
I know. I practiced a lot. And by the way, with so many superpowers, Zane, you can give Iron Man and Captain Marvel a run for their money. Have you ever thought of joining the Avengers gang?
I have not. Do they have health insurance?
But no, they have no securities in. But trust me, Trailblazers are better than Avengers, and I know you have a bigger responsibility than that. Stay with us.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome. It's great to have you on the show today. And Zane, when I was talking to you the other day, and when I was going through your journey, if you have to name that journey and write a book, it should be Art Meets Technology. And you know why I'm talking about it. How has this journey been for you, Zane?
Yeah, I definitely didn't have a traditional path into technology, which I think is true for many people in the Salesforce ecosystem. I'll say I think I'm not an exception, which is awesome. But yeah, most of my early career, I really thought that I was going to be working in the arts in some way, either as an artist or someone who is teaching art. Then I thought maybe I would be working in the arts community and making art on the side. And then while I was working at an artist colony of all places, I discovered that they needed help with this new tool they bought called Salesforce that nobody knew how to use. And that really was my entryway into this other kind of career of, putting pieces together and experimenting and building outside of my studio and in the office and making things that delighted people and got them to use the best parts of their brains and seemed to make a difference. So I kind of never looked back.
Absolutely. That's wonderful, Zane. And how did you get into the community, and what was that one thing you realized after getting into the Trailblazer community?
Yeah, I came in the community kind of in two phases, I think. So the first phase was when I was working at that artist colony and trying to figure out how to put the pieces together, and I didn't really know who else to talk to because I was the person that was supposed to have all the answers for everyone at my company, but I was brand new to Salesforce. And then it was, I think, the account representative for the company at the time. They said, "Hey, did you know we just launched this new thing? It's for people like you to meet other community members, and it's called the Power of Us Hub," because it was a nonprofit at the time. So then I logged into the Power of Us Hub nonprofit community, and it was like there were not only other people who had already done the things that I was trying to figure out, there were even other arts professionals. Like I met other people working literally at other artist colonies. It was like that vast and amazing. So that was sort of phase one of the community. And then phase two was really when I was in another role, and again, trying to learn more and figure out how to do things. And then I connected with my local community groups, and that was when I was in Minneapolis. And I connected with the developer group there, nonprofit group there, the community group, of course, is incredibly strong and powerful, and the women in tech group. And even became a co-leader of that women in tech group that had really kind of died back. There were a few of us that stepped forward all at the same time to co-lead together and really bring that group back. And that was an amazing entry really into the community, to realize that it wasn't just me learning. Even the community had given me so much, but I actually had something to give back to the community. And I would say that was kind of my second wave.
No, that's a great point you mentioned right now. You just don't learn, but you give back to the community at the same time. I think I love that point. And Zane, being a woman, I know it wasn't a cakewalk for you to transition into the tech industry. You might have had your share, fair share of experiences. Talk us through, one of those experiences you went through, and how did you announce yourself after that? How did you make people hear you?
Yeah, the Salesforce ecosystem, I would say by and large, is pretty amazing. So when I was making my way into the community and into tech, I was in a community where a lot of practitioners, a lot of people around me were women or people from other kinds of diverse backgrounds, just because of the luck I had of being in the arts community and then in nonprofits. So I was in a little bit of a bubble, and then the acceptance of the Salesforce community extended that bubble a little farther. But then when I went into consulting, I was in fact on my first client, and it was two of us from the consulting firm that were together. And I was actually the technical lead, the technical resource, and the other person, who was a man, was the project manager. And he's phenomenally talented at what he does, but he was like, I'm just here to facilitate like, the meetings with the client, make sure we're filling the RFP, but like, this is your job. You got it. We get on site, and the client, one of the leaders there, wouldn't even look me in the eye. As he stopped my colleague and I in the hallway, and it was just a conversation that went like this. Even though then my colleague would turn and say, well, Zane, what do you think? Well, actually, you're going to be doing this work. Just the whole time, it was like I might as well have not been there. The client would not look me in the eye, and that was pretty unsettling. I did not change that person's mind. Luckily, I didn't have to work directly with that person again. It probably would have been a little more awkward. But I think it comes and goes, the ability to just be strong in the moment and remember that even though there's something about you that someone else is saying isn't welcome here, isn't right, isn't respected, we all deserve to be here. There's a reason you're in the room, and you bring it with you every time you walk into the room. And that's what I try to remember, is there's a reason that I'm here. Even if it's not because I'm the most experienced, there's something else I'm bringing that this room needs. And the gift I have is to share it.
No, you are not just representing yourself. You're representing all the women, who are trying to make it big in the tech industry. And I feel that situations like this make you even more stronger and determined, right? And we can definitely see you as an example there as well. You're my favorite keynote speaker for sure. You're a rock star. There is a lot of positive energy when you're there on the dais. What was that best advice you got for your first keynote? Apart from the advice that I gave, you remember the coffee shop conversation we had?
Yes.
Apart from that advice, but what was the other advice you got?
I'm trying to now think through, you coached me so much. Yeah. I did have a lot of really great coaches. I will say that was a gift to me in my first keynote experience. I had a lot of great coaching along the way. And two things really stood out. One was long before we got to the keynote stage piece, Sarah Franklin took me aside and was so kind about, she was like, can I just teach you how to read slides, like how to deliver slides in a way that like was not terrible, because I really did not know. And I will never forget her guidance on how to just make it seem natural and make it easy for people to know what they need to know and to get past reading the slide. So that was a gift she gave me that I still carry.
She's a great leader. She's a great
keynotes, leader. Yeah, really, and great speaker. And the best keynote advice I got, though, just that I use for high pressure speaking situations, I guess, whether that's a big engagement or a small engagement, came from Jillian Bruce. And she said, just make sure that you have those first 2 or 3 lines that you're going to say when you're up on that stage and the lights hit you. Make sure you have those memorized. Like, just pick what they're going to be and don't deviate, and just say them to yourself all the time. Because then when you get up on that stage, you don't have to think about the words that are coming out of your mouth. You can just have the shock of, oh my gosh, this room is big. Those lights are bright. What is happening right now? And then you can come back inside yourself and be then thinking about what's coming next. And you've already engaged with the audience. You've already said hello to everybody. And then you're ready to be real.
Great advice for anybody who wants to do their next keynote, Zane. Thanks for that. Jillian never gave me that advice, by the way, on record.
She spaces it out. It's probably coming.
No, she talks. She used to talk to me about using the muscle memory. In fact, she was a great coach to me as well. I was joking when I said that, but she's a great coach, absolutely. Okay, Zane. Now you lead the architect relations team.
Yep.
How important do you think architects are for the Salesforce ecosystem, and why?
Architects are incredibly important for the Salesforce ecosystem. We know we have data that proves that they are the most significant factor in implementation success, both near term and long term. Architects are increasingly called upon to help build a bridge between our rapidly expanding technology platform and business value. They have to not only help admins or developers or other kinds of technical builders on their teams choose the right tool for the right task, they also have to make the case to executive stakeholders to get everyone on the same page for the reasons that you're building what you're building and why it matters to the future of business. We say that architects build the future of business, and it really, really, really is the truth for those of us on the architect relations team. They're really at the center of so many important decisions when it comes to Salesforce.
Absolutely. I think they are the backbone for the ecosystem. They decide the quality of implementations that happen in the Salesforce on the Salesforce platform. And as you know, the ASEAN region is very heavy on architects. There are a lot of audience today who are aspiring to be architects.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you will be coming up with some cool initiatives for them and help them be better architects in future, because we also know that you are the architect's voice at Salesforce.
Me and my evangelist Mark are both working really hard to make sure that those voices are heard. But I think one of the most amazing things about this community is how well you all speak for yourselves. A lot of the reason that we're here today as an architect relations team is because of that demand from practitioners in the ecosystem saying, this is who we are, this is the responsibility that we carry, and we want to not only better connect with one another, but we really do want more guidance from Salesforce about what we should be considering as we solution those near-term and long-term builds on the platform. As the technology gets more and more complex, we want to know that we're doing the right thing, and we need Salesforce to be a partner in telling us how to make those decisions. And that's really a lot of what built the program.
You know what? We're going to host something virtually very soon, and we would want you to be with us for maybe half a day and listen to all the people who are aspiring to be architects. Maybe that way we can definitely get a lot of useful opinions there.
That would be awesome. Definitely, this ecosystem is not shy, and it makes us all better at our jobs. I love it.
Cool. Zane, thank you so much for being on the show today. Such an inspiring person you are. And when you stand on that stage, when you or Sarah or Leah stand on that stage, we know that you're not standing just for yourself. You're standing for all the women out there. You're standing for all the people out there who want to make it big in what they do. You're not just on a job. You're on a mission. You're on a mission to make this world a better place. And you're grounded to your roots, which is Oregon. So here's a cool T-shirt for you, and our developer talk show got budget this time, and you're the first guest to receive a gift. So how do you feel about it?
It's amazing. It's incredible. Thank you so much.
Don't cry, Zane. I know you're happy. Don't cry.
It's really wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So you've been on the biggest keynote stage. You've done such wonderful things. You've done your masters. You're so multi-talented. But have you ever thought in your wildest of dreams that you would be part of Dev Talkies? This is bigger than all of this.
No, I can honestly say I had no idea that this was a possibility or reality. If you'd asked me 4 weeks ago, 3 months ago, I never would have said it.
I thought so. Yeah, Let's keep it that way and end the interview before you start making fun of this. Cool.
This is great to be here. Thank you.
It's game show time. Let's see what Aditya is going to have Manish and Zane do today in the game show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the game show segment. I am your host Aditya, and no points for guessing who today's participants are. We have none other than Zane and Manish. Let's give a round of applause, and we want to wave and say hi.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Okay, so hope you have brushed up on your technical skills, because I'm going to put them to the test today with this game show that I call Salesforce Connect. And it is loosely based on a British TV show called Only Connect. The concept of the game is pretty simple. There are going to be 4 clues, and all the 4 clues are going to have something in common. And your job is to find out what that connection is. And in round 1, you're going to play individually. So I'm going to show you the first of the 4 clues. And if you're able to guess what the connection is just by looking at the first clue, you get 5 points. And if not, you can always request me to show the next clue. And if you're able to guess then based on the 2 clues that I've shown you, then you get 4 points. So basically, the more clues you reveal, the lesser points that you get. And you have about 30 seconds to guess the connection. And in case you get the connection wrong or you run out of time, the other person is going to get a chance to answer and they are going to get the points. So that's all. That's all the rules that there are. So clear, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I hope we'll find out.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's find out. So audience, you get to play along as well, just like last time. In case you are able to guess the connection before our participants, you stand a chance to win and be featured in one of our subsequent episodes. So get to the chat window and start playing. And we are going to start with Manish. So Manish, the first clue on your screen right now, and I'm starting your timer as well.
Yeah. Your next clue, please.
So next clue is custom.
Okay. Maybe we are talking about the objects in Salesforce.
Yes, you got it. With just 2 clues, so you get 4 points.
Hey.
So what do you expect to see in the remaining 2 clues?
Maybe what other type of objects do we have here? Standard custom, maybe like there is external object, yes, and then there is big object, I guess.
Correct, perfect. Those are the 4 clues, and that's it. Just like that, you have 4 points.
Oh yeah.
Now moving on to the next connection, and Zane, it is your turn now, and your clue on screen, and I've started your timer.
What are the different kinds of these are different kinds of Salesforce certifications? I'm just going straight for the answer.
You have to be a little bit more specific. You're almost there.
So Salesforce Developer certifications?
You can request for more clues, but I'm going to give you only one more
All right,
try.
let's do another clue. Okay, so I wasn't right with saying Salesforce certifications, and it wasn't right saying Salesforce Developer certifications, so I'm going to need another clue.
Okay. This should be enough.
Salesforce Architect certifications.
Okay, you're very close, but I'm still going to give it to you. The 4th clue would have been Data Architecture and Management Designer. And the answer is prerequisites for the Application Architect certification. You were pretty close by calling them architect certifications.
That is true. That is great. I would push back and say that you should have picked the other designer certifications, since App Builder and Platform Developer 1 are also prereqs for other kinds of architect certs, but that's great.
Okay, so how many points did you get? You've guessed it.
I think I got like 1.
You got it at 2 at least, because I revealed the 4th clue for you. Okay, so back to you, Manish. Your next clue on the screen.
Okay. Next clue, please.
Okay.
Can you reveal the 3rd clue, please? Maybe these are indexed fields.
Wow, Manish, you're really on a roll. So the fourth clue, you get 2 points. The fourth clue would have been custom fields marked as external ID or unique.
Oh, that would have definitely.
And these are the fields that are indexed by default.
Oh,
Wow.
awesome.
Okay. Zane, you have a tough competition.
Well done.
I didn't know, like, it was like out of the blue. But yeah, fourth would have been.
I was
Okay.
thinking like SOCL, things that optimize your SOCL queries, and then the audit dates, I was like, oh, not that. Okay.
Okay, so Zane, it is your turn, and this is your first clue.
Okay. I've learned to be cautious, so let's see another clue.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see the third clue. These are all Salesforce abbreviations. Let's see the last clue.
I think the third one makes it hard.
Yeah. I think these are different namespaces in Lightning.
It might be true, but it's not the connection that I was looking for.
Okay.
Manish, do you want to give it a try?
Maybe these are something that Salesforce provides out of the box in these UI frameworks. Like $A represents all the standard events that product framework comes up with. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that is pretty close to what I was looking for. The answer I was expecting is global variables that LWC cannot access. Yeah, so I'm not going to give either of you any points.
Yep.
So,
We neither of us got that
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, these are global variables LWC cannot access. So at the end of round 1, so that concludes round 1. So at the end of round 1, Manish is leading with 6 points. Zane is at 2 points. But there is still round 2, which is a little bit more trickier than the round 1. So in round 2...
Oh, great.
So in round 2, you're still going to get 4 clues. But this time, all the 4 clues form a sequence. So I'm going to start by revealing the first clue. And then you're supposed to guess what the 4th clue in the sequence is. So first in your mind, you'll have to figure out what the connection might be. But your answer has to be what the 4th clue is. And this time, since you're both playing together, you'll be using buzzers. And I am going to be the one who is advancing through the clues. So I'm going to show you the first word in the sequence. In about 5 to 10 seconds, I'm going to show you the second word. 5 to 10 seconds later, I'm going to show you the third word. And any time during this, if you think you know the answer, just hit the buzzer. And of course, the number of points you get is going to be based on the number of clues that have been revealed.
Okay.
Okay?
This one is definitely
Alright.
hard.
Alright, so hands on your buzzers and eyes on your screen. So this is the first word in the sequence, or rather picture in the sequence. What comes fourth? I'll reveal the second clue in the sequence. What comes fourth? Okay, third in the sequence coming up.
Sure, they all starts with C, I believe. C character, cloudy, cloudy, and then I forgot the tailhead mascot name.
Can we play together? Because I know the third one.
Okay, what's the third one?
Together.
I know it represents trailhead, but
So neither of you get any points
Yeah.
because you're out of time, but you can play together and figure out what the fourth one can be.
It's Cloudy, Cody,
Cody.
and that's Ernie, Ernie, and so then I'm guessing the fourth one has to be somebody whose name alphabetically comes later.
I'm sure so.
Einstein?
Someone who represents the Salesforce certifications, I believe.
Zane got it right. It is actually Einstein, and she also got the connection right. It is Salesforce mascots in alphabetical order. Zane, you could have buzzed and gotten the points.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bad luck, Zane. Let's play together in the next.
Finally, we get to something with very deep knowledge, and now I see it.
No, let's keep playing together.
No, you're not supposed to play together.
Exactly. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so what comes next? I'm going to clear your buzzers now. And this is the first word in the sequence. What comes fourth? First word is developer. There are many permutations, but the moment I reveal the second word, it becomes too apparent. So hands on your buzzers. And the second word in the sequence is Developer Pro. Okay, and Zane has buzzed first. So Zane, what's the fourth in the sequence?
Okay. I think the fourth in the sequence is full copy.
Perfect. And what do you think?
Because the third
connection
is partial copy, and it's types of sandboxes.
Is there any particular order to how I've listed them?
From smallest to largest by data volume.
Yeah, that's true.
And also cost. But that's maybe not what you were going for there.
Yeah, it's actually all of the characteristics, but sorted by refresh interval is what I was going for. But yeah, data volume is good and cost is also good. But yeah, you've got it, and because you've guessed with the second clue itself, you get 4 points, and now you're tied with Manish. So there are like 3 more clues.
I'm under pressure.
I'm crawling back.
Yep. Okay, so
you are really good at this.
The next sequence is coming up. The first word is LWC. Okay, I'm going to reveal the second clue. It's Aura. And you just get 4 points.
So,
okay, Manish, you've buzzed. What do you think the fourth in the
Go,
sequence
go, go.
is?
So I know like there's LWC, Aura, Visual Force, and there was one more thing before Visual Force pages, which was I wasn't part of Salesforce ecosystem at that time, but I've heard the name so many times.
Yeah, if you don't know the answer, then I'm going to have to give it to Zane.
S. Oh. It's okay. It starts with S.
Oh yeah. Just give me a sec.
Almost there. Almost. Okay, no, you've taken too long.
Okay,
Zane, your turn.
S control. If that's the way we're going, it would be S control.
Perfect.
Right?
Yes, it is S control. So next comes Visual Force and then S controls. Manish, you got the connection right. It is Salesforce UI technologies in reverse order of launch. And yeah, you were almost there.
I forgot the name.
I feel like we should split that point. Yeah, because I would have said Apex because I thought it was just like Salesforce programming technologies in reverse order of launch, and I would have said
we should
skipped over S control. So I think this really is your point.
I think we should split it then.
So, yeah, if both the participants agree, I'll give you 2 each. Yes, you're trying to make this a tie, which I don't like. It should not be a tie. Okay. So, coming up next, what comes fourth in the sequence? The first in the sequence is assignment rules. Okay. The next in the sequence is auto response rules. Okay, Manish, you have buzzed. You have to get this right. What do you think the fourth in the sequence is?
Validation rule?
What do you think the sequence is?
Maybe like the order of execution in reverse order.
Okay, you've gone too far. Half the connection is correct. But Zane, what do you think the answer is?
Well, it's the final part of the transaction. It's after the database transaction has been committed, like after DML, before the transaction closes, these things are happening to the record, but I couldn't tell you what's fourth.
Okay.
Because I'm not exactly sure where in the transaction we 100% are.
All right.
It's been that long since I've recited all 25 steps.
You remember there are 25? Okay, I don't remember the number. It kept changing. It was 17.
Yeah, it's more than 25 now.
Like,
it's more than 25 now.
Yeah, see?
Okay, so none of you get the point, but the third in the sequence is workflow rules, and fourth is escalation rules, and
Escalation rules.
this is the order of execution. Manish, you got it right, but it is not the reverse order. It's actually the normal order. Okay, so the final one that is going to decide the winner. What comes fourth in the sequence?
I'm just impressed with these questions, I have to say. So I can't even
Okay.
imagine what this one is going to be.
This is going to be really tricky. You'll have to look beyond
Oh, great.
everything that you've seen till now. Okay, so what comes fourth in the sequence? First is batch apex. Okay, the second is connected app. Yeah.
You kind of diverted the path here.
Okay. The third in the sequence is delegated authentication. Now, after I reveal what the connection is, you'll either bang your head against the wall or you'll bang my head against the wall. So, look at the words. Don't look at what they do. Just look at the words as English words.
BA, CA, DA. Then EA, something EA.
Okay, Zane, you have buzzed first. What do you think the answer is?
External services?
What do you think the sequence is?
2 words about things in Salesforce in alphabetical order. Like, that's literally all I got.
Okay. Manish, what did you have in mind?
Maybe 2 words. One starts with E, the other one starts with A.
I think we were on the same page.
Yeah, you're really trying to make this a tie. But yes, one of you got some answer, one of you got
I was trying to find a word which starts with E and A.
Yeah, you
I
could
couldn't
give
get
email
email
alert, you could give enterprise app, you had a lot of options to give.
I got the top, I did not get the A part. So I clearly think this is going to my
Yeah, I mean, even if I split the points between both of you or I don't give points to either of you, you still tie because both of you have 8 points each. And yeah, both of you are winners. Well played. I can't do anything at this moment. I tried really hard not to make this a tie. But congratulations, both of you, very well played.
I think you should tell the audience that this is also not scripted because that's what you said in the last episode, right?
Oh yeah, this is definitely not scripted.
Definitely not scripted.
I mean, ideally,
Yeah, this
Zane
is
would have
scripted.
won, but since she split her points on the fly between both of you, it is a tie. But if Zane would have
thanks a
split
lot.
her points, she would have won.
Jane, you are so courteous. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't let me lose.
I am impressed that I am not left in the dust. So yes, this is great.
Alright, so congratulations to both of you who are the winners, and I hope you've enjoyed the game. And
High fives.
And I hope
We did,
the
we
audience
did.
that you've been watching, you've been playing along with us, you've been able to guess the connections before our participants. So in case you have, we are going to announce the winners really soon, and you might be featured in our subsequent episodes of Dev Talkies. So with that, this is me, Aditya, signing off, and meet you next month with a brand new game show.
I mean, why are there no winners in Aditya's game show? But that was fun though. Thank you so much, Aditya. It's time for another technical tip.
Hello again, and it is tip time. Today I'm going to show you how to automate formatting and also the unit test execution while you commit your code. For this, we are going to use the latest version of an NPM module called Husky by using the pre-commit hooks. Here I am in VS Code, where I have created a sample LWC project. It has a basic hello component, and I have also written a test class for it. Okay, let's now check the code. It is a pretty simple code, but it is badly formatted with improper indentations. We are going to fix it using the pre-commit hook in a short while. When you create a Salesforce DX project, it creates a package.json file with some scripts and npm dependencies listed in it. You can find a script to format your code using the Prettier plugin. You can also find scripts to run your LWC tests. Now let's see how we can automate the process of formatting and testing while we commit the code using Husky. Here I am on the Husky documentation page. The latest version of Husky has 0 dependencies, it's lightweight and it is fast. The installation is a simple one-step process. This command installs Husky and also initializes the configuration. Let's copy this command and go back to VS Code. Let's open package.json and we'll add a post install label to the script list and paste the command here. The post install script executes whenever you run npm install. You can also run this command directly from the terminal. Let's now save it and run npm install. Here you can see that it adds a prepare step for Husky and it also adds the package version in dev dependencies. Not only that, it creates a .husky folder and adds a pre-commit hook file for us. Here we can add the commands that we desire to run in the pre-commit stage. Let's add npm run prettier, npm run test and git add dot. You need not add this git command here, but if you want to stage the changes after format and test execution, you can add it. That's all we need to do. Let's go and commit the changes. Let me show you the hello.html file once again. And now we'll check the git status. We'll stage the changes with git add. Now we'll commit the changes. Here you can see that it runs both npm run prettier and npm run test. You can also see that the file is formatted. Now let's push the changes to the GitHub repository. Let's go and check our commit in the GitHub repository. Here you can see that it has formatted the code and committed the changes. Was that a cool tip? Please let us know.
If you want to go ahead and access all the technical content that has been shared as part of the episode today, please click on this link to get to the trail mix. Manish and Zane wouldn't have been standing in front of us today if they didn't handle the rejections the right way. Rejections are a part and parcel of our life. In fact, I started facing them when I was a child, and they didn't stop till today. What does that mean? Should we run away from them? No. We're going to face them because that is when new possibilities open up. In fact, what I think is we should be defined not by the rejections we face, but by how we react to them. And that is what great people who have changed the world, who have changed the way we think and live, have done. On that note, stay safe, write code, do good. This is Kiran signing off with love.